Welcome to this embodiment practice where we're going to explore the circle not just as a feminine symbol but as a mandala that we can move in our bodies. Sacred geometry in the feminine form. Begin by planting your feet firmly in the floor and then start to shake. And shake everything here. Shaking is so good for releasing stress, flushing out cortisol, completing motor responses. So I want you to just shake everything out here. Shake out your hands and your legs. Shake through your whole body. Make the whole body vibrate. And you can add in a slight bounce or hop up and down. Flick out through the wrists and the hands. Keep shaking. Good. Shake, 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 shake through the arms, and then shake through just one arm and one hand, and shake through the other arm and other hand. Shake through the shoulders, shake out a leg and a foot, and feel that in the body. And shake out the other leg, the other foot, and feel that in the body. And then not only shake, but now begin to jump and bounce up and down as you shake, releasing what you don't want in your body, the things that you wish to release in this moment. Shake it all out. And if you get tired or fatigued, I want you to keep shaking. Shake it out. Everything here. Shake, shake, shake as much as you can. And then plant through your feet and shake internally as much as you can, feeling the internal shake through the chest and the shoulders and the belly and the low belly. And can you shake your hips and your buttocks and your thighs? Shake through the legs. Shake it all out and eventually take your arms up into the sky. Exhale, bring your chest to your thighs. Do that again. Bend the knees generously as you come down and release. And then transitioning from that shaking, begin to slowly turn your head from side to side. Left and right and back again. And then move the head and chin up and down, lifting the chin to open the front of the throat and lowering the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. And smooth out those four corners and carve out a circle with your chin, opening through the neck and the throat. And change direction, tracing the outline of that circle with the chin. Very good. Then come back to center and bring this circular motion into the right shoulder, the top of the arm bone. Draw it up and back and complete that circular motion. And then move it forward. And not only are you lubricating your shoulder joint here, but you are freeing up your shoulder, gently releasing tension. And change shoulders. Now the left, draw it up and back. And then draw the shoulder forward. Up and forward. And then combining that movement in both shoulders, take one shoulder up and back and then the other up and back. Up and back. Up and back. And let residual movement go into the ribs and the hips. And then draw the shoulders forward one at a time, tracing the outline of a circle in both. And feeling the shoulders naturally, organically release. And then continuing with the opening of the shoulders, draw the shoulders back as you spiral the hands as far out as you can. Draw the shoulders in and spiral your hands in as much as you can. Go in, the thumbs spiral in, and draw out, the thumbs spiral out. The shoulders widen. Good. And feel the chest naturally lift and open as the shoulders go back and the palms open. Feel a natural deflation or compression as you draw in. And then release that and start to focus on the chest, lifting and then dropping the chest. Lift and drop. Lift and drop. And now I want you to find the four corners of your chest. Side, drop back, side, lift up, and then smooth that out into a chest circle. And feel your whole body move with that spiraling in the chest, emanating from the center of the heart, but reverberating outward. And then change direction. Lifting as the chest comes forward and collapsing slightly as the chest comes back. Feel it in your body. Enjoy it. Bring both hands onto your womb space. Bend into your knees generously here and take a hip circle. Keep the feet hip distance apart, so a medium-sized hip circle, and start to feel a kind of lubrication through your hips as you move. Keep the knees nice and bent to support the action. And change direction. Good. Finding all four corners of your pelvic bowl. Enjoy this too. And now focusing just on one hip, you're going to lift your right hip and lift your heel. And then push the hip out, draw it down, and draw it in. And when you smooth that out, you've created a vertical circle, a circle on the vertical plane. And it's like you're scooping something down and up with the hip. So let the heel move up as the hip moves up. These movements are going to support one another. And find this gentle, elegant circle through your right hip. Lifting, pushing out, lowering and drawing in. And staying with the right hip now, you're going to reverse the direction of the circle. So now it's like you're scooping something up with the hip. Stay low on the hip, push out, and then lift as you draw up. And again, let the heel lift as the hip lifts. Feel this natural rocking through your whole body as the hips move. And then left hip, scooping down first. Lift up, push out, push down, draw in, up, out, down, and in. Trace that with your left hip. Scooping down and down. Lifting the hip and lifting the heel. And then drawing the hip and heel down as the hip comes back in. And then change direction. Out, up, in, and down. Scooping up. And find that rocking in your hips. And notice how these circles in the hips affect your whole body and your whole state of being. Good. And then coming back to center now, we're going to combine those two hip circles into one and create a figure 8. So you're going to lift with your right hip, push it out, down and in, and then lift your left hip, push out, down and in. And now you have a vertical 8 on, or a figure 8 on the vertical plane. Good. And then when you're ready, eventually changing that direction as well. And to change direction here, you're going to scoop up with the right hip, scoop up with the left hip. Find an easeful rocking through the pelvis, side to side. There's a natural sway through the hips as you scoop up and up and up and up. Very good. And don't worry about technique or getting it right. There's nothing to perform. But can you just feel the effects? And then release that movement. Bringing the feet and the knees together, a tiny hip circle here. Front, side, back, side. Move in the opposite direction. How does that feel in your body? And make sure, please, that your knees are bent and there's no pain in the low back when you do that. And now take the knees and feet really wide. Bend down into your knees with your toes and your knees pointing in the same direction. Turn your fingers towards the wall behind you. Press down into your upper thighs to create space through your thoracic spine, and then start to sway from side to side. Sway to the left, bend the left knee. Sway to the right and bend the right knee. And you can release the hands here and let the hands be free. Let them move however they want to as your hips and your feet and your legs move in this way. And now taking the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, bring your hands to the floor and start to bend one knee at a time. Right and then left. And notice how that creates an easy, gentle sway. It starts in the hips and the knees and the legs, but you may feel that sway throughout your whole body. Beautiful. Let your head relax here. And then finding in this sway, very organically, easily move into tracing a figure 8 with the hips. And now this figure 8 is on the vertical plane. Come down onto your hands and onto your knees when you're ready. with your knees under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. Take your hips side to side, sway them a bit, and then circle the hips by circling the torso like you are playing jump rope with your torso. And make sure both sides are evened out. Good. And then start to have a little bit of fun here in these movements. And you can even write your name with your tailbone. What would your body do if you did that? How would that look? Write out each letter with the tailbone. And then come back to an easy sway, left to right. And maybe you find a figure 8 through your hips here as well, a horizontal figure 8. Even out that figure 8 in both directions. And then let yourself just be wild and free. Move your torso. Maybe you come back to that jumping rope action through the torso. Let the hips follow. Let your head and neck follow. Undulate through the spine. And then when you're ready, steady on the left knee and the hands. Lift your right knee parallel to the ground. And trace a circle in both directions. And change sides. One direction, full circles, traced with the left knee. And then the other direction. You're using your adductors here and also getting good fluidity, flexibility in the hips. Come down into child's pose. And take your arms wide, further than your shoulders, wider than your shoulders. Fingertips on the floor, and ripple your heart up towards the sky and then down towards the earth. And let this juicy undulation move through your spine. And then come down onto the floor, rock your hips side to side as the pubic mound presses and connects with the floor. Relax your hips. Bend into your left knee, left arm, take them out. And look towards your left hand. Your whole right side is straight. Change sides. And eventually make your way up to your seat. Connect your hands anywhere on your body that feels good and appropriate. And take a few rhythmic breaths. Feel them coursing through your body. Maybe even move with your breath, a slight undulation of the spine. And that completes this embodiment practice.